Good morning from Karl Flowers, Technical Director of Authentica Leather. We're a small consultancy company that provides information, training and information to the leather industry. Today I want to talk about green fashion, and I want to give you some indication of what's taking place in Europe and what kind of trends we can expect going on to the next 18 to 24 months. So first of all, what you need to understand is that the Blue Planet effect is quite a big effect that we're seeing taking place in the European and North American markets. Basically, the Blue Planet effect is fashion houses and consumers' avoidance of plastic-based products that could end up in the oceans or in natural ecosystems. So what kind of products will end up undergoing this Blue Planet effect? Well, any material product that is going to persist in an end-of-life scenario, so something that is not going to break down very easily and is going to end up in the oceans and the rivers. So this is something that is going to affect the tanning industry. If you produce products that are very plastic-based in nature, they're also going to be part of this effect. So what does that actually mean? Well, brands and retailers are certainly trying to avoid plastic-based products. They're also thinking about a long-term questioning of whether the fast fashion is what's going to be a solution or not. So what is fast fashion? Of course, these are products that have a very short cycle time. They're very dependent on what trends and modes are taking place in the industry, and of course that's what they're trying to avoid if you're going to be producing products that at the end of their life are disposed and become a problem environmentally. Now, fast fashion is based on a growth model, and that's not a bad thing for these fashion houses and retailers and brands. They try to get maximum return every cycle out of these products, and of course leather can be made in a very fashionable way and can be part of the problem or can be part of the solution. So what is the leather industry doing about this? Well, the European and North American tanneries, a few other countries and regions are also looking at this, and that is to continue with a fast fashion growth model, because fast fashion and the growth orientation allows you to make good profits as a company. If you choose a longer model, it's a bit more difficult to be profitable. So these tanneries are looking at producing products that are still able to be marketed as fast fashion items, but are not necessarily going to be part of the end-of-life problems that people experience. To do this, you need to produce specific types of leathers that have a very short lifespan in the end of their life. That means when you put them into a compostable environment or into an ocean or into a river or into something natural, they will break down quite quickly. Of course, they can't break down during working life, but they will break down when you put them into a very natural environment. There's not many companies offering this. This is still very early days. I think everybody is trying to look at how this happens. The mechanism of how it breaks down is crucial. If you can get something that is resistant during working life because it's very dry, that should be something that's feasible. But if you put it into end of life, it's going to break down quite quickly because generally you have a lot more moisture around. So that's one of the things that people are looking at the moment, is trying to produce products that don't have a very long life. They break down quite quickly. And if you think about it, leather that you don't tan, rawhide and skin, that breaks down pretty quickly, about 10 days. So the next scenario is not being part of the fast fashion problem, but being part of a slower fashion, if you want to call it that. Slower fashion, you are producing the normal kind of leather that's going to last tens, hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. And of course, in that scenario, you're going to have a product that is long-lived. It's going to be durable, it's going to work, it's very repairable. You can do all kinds of things with that material, and if you can pair it together with a short breakdown during end of life, that would be even better. One of the advantages that leather has as a fashion item over other materials is that it can be repairable, and you can develop an industry that looks at taking materials and gives them an option to be repaired during life. Of course, like all fashion items, if you can upcycle, if you can improve the general life of the product, its resistance to wear and tear, that will obviously extend its range. But there you're looking at options like refinishing, being able to be stitched again if it's ruptured, making sure that the product is going to look good after a short amount of times. So those are the two main focuses of the industry. Of course, the third part is traceability. Many people in the fashion industry are very interested in understanding where their material comes from and the implications of what could have happened to that material during its life, if there have been any kind of ethical or social issues in the creation of that material. That's something that fashion and brands are very interested in. So that's just a brief summary. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your meeting. Thank you.